male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Start! Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referees command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
A very good evening, and for the final time, welcome to the Hacha Hassan Arena in the heart of Algiers, the capital of Algeria, for the 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships. It's the final session, and we've got quite a lot of action coming your way. Already tonight, we've had the women's up to 79, the men's up to 72, the women's up to 86 and over 86, and the men's up to 80, but there are still 4 weight categories still to be decided, and they are all going to be decided in this final session. All in all, there will be a total of 8 competitors in the 4 categories to decide who will be our final set of African gold medalists from these 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships. The warm-up area not as busy as usual. A lot of the competitors not necessarily in the warm-up area right now, but maybe in the changing rooms or taking on a last bit of refreshments before they take to the stage, which is ready for our officials and ready for our athletes alike as well. So that is the start list, and you can see the mixture of weights that we have on the inside right column of the screen. The heaviest competitor, 121.5, Amir Mossad at the bottom, and the least heaviest, 82.2, is Mohamed Haj Ali of Algeria. 3 Algerians taking part, so the noise levels will be through the roof once again. We've had a cracking atmosphere this evening already at the Hacha Hassan Arena, with a lot of the home favourites managing to get on the podium. Our officials from all around the globe, as ever, taking their place on the stage, and the jury to back them up as well, with the President Ahmed Al-Raisi and Technical Delegate Fatih Lashatab as well. So we are getting set for what is the final session of 12 in this Algiers 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships. We've had a fantastic 3 days worth of action, and we are hoping that the curtain will come down with what is a fitting finale. The start of it and the first lift to be carried out after this.
arms, yeah. Rise up, woo, rise up, woo, rise up, rise up and face the demon. Rise up and face your fear. Rise up and face the devil. Rise up and dry your tears.
So the final countdown complete for the Algiers 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships. We are going to get this show on the road, and it's going to be a difficult one to follow this, so we will try our best with the full classifications involved. Many fingers in many pies, and you may need a pen and paper, but the permutations will be made pretty clear to you as this session goes on. As ever, 3 attempts for each athlete. Their starting weight they cannot go lower than, so it's important that they are able to ask for a starting lift, but they are able to lift in the first place. 4 sets of medals on offer here, and the first weight division we're going to go to is the up to 107, so that is the 3rd heaviest out of the 4 weight divisions we'll be seeing. There are 2 competitors involved in this, Mohamed Ahmed of Egypt, but first it's the Algerian Mourad Bakir, and he's aiming to lift 125, which is 25.1 heavier than his weight. Each athlete with 2 minutes to perform their lift from the moment they are announced on their way onto the stage, and Mourad Bakir has 40 seconds left to make this lift. Waiting for the verdict from our officials. It's a good lift, 2-1, and Mourad Bakir getting off to a fine start with that lift of 125, and that will breed a great amount of confidence for him. Doesn't matter what that starting weight is, sometimes it's just about making sure it's a good lift, and it was there for Bakir. The pressure of getting that first lift right now off his shoulders. So up next, sticking with the Algerians but moving down into the up to 97 category, this is Noureddin Kazroui, and Kazroui is alongside Tarek Wadan of Egypt here. Now Wadan is a junior athlete, and Kazroui very much not anymore. 55 years of age, turns 56 in October, going here for 135 in his first attempt. Crowd like it, so do the officials, all 3 of them. So a good lift for Noureddin Kashawi. Made that look very simple indeed. That frown turned upside down when he turned around and saw the 3 lights next to his name on the screen. Now we move on to the lightest of our weight divisions, the up to 88 category. 3 contenders in this. The first of them is Abdul Razik Al-Baybar from Libya. 44 years of age. Had a bit of a tumultuous time of it in the last couple of years. A couple of suspensions and fines on the way. But he's back, and certainly an experienced competitor. He was at the World Championships in 2010, as well as the Paralympics in 2012. Failed to get top 10 finishes in either of those, both times lifting 155. And he starts proceedings here aiming for 140. Good lift from Al-Baybar. 140 on the board, and all 3 of our first 3 in the 3 different categories have managed to get their lift under wraps. Interesting technique that most of the athletes concentrate on the bar, but Abdul Razik Al-Baybar, that's staring at the ceiling here in the Hacha Hassan Arena, staring at the lights, and 3 white lights greeted him as a result of that lift. So a successful start there, but of course still a long way to go. The first of our 4 Egyptian contenders in 4 different weight categories. And this is the junior athlete, Tariq Warden, 20 years of age, weighing in at 95.1. He's in the up to 97 category. The second of them to go, and he's aiming here for 152. Seems smooth enough, and the officials concur 2-1 in Wardan's favour. Well, in terms of standard and lack of errors, the best certainly has been saved for last so far. Up next, the third and final Algerian in our start list, as we go back to the up to 88 kilogram category, and aiming for at least a silver medal here is Mohamed Haj Ali. Weighing in at 82.2, 31 years of age. And again, another raucous reception for him as he lies himself on the bench and gets ready to face 165 kg. That looked good, and all three of the officials thought the same. Well, the successful streak continues. 5 of our first 5 athletes all getting white lights, and Mohamed Haj Ali, the latest of them, really squeezing that one up there, but it never looked in doubt. A good lift, and good to see, especially for those in the Algerian contingent. So our next 3 are all Egyptian and all in different categories. Hani Abdel Hadi is in the up to 88 competition, so he'll have seen that lift from Mohamed Haj Ali, and he'll be trying to go a bit better, 10k better to be precise. He's going for 175 here. Can lift an awful lot heavier. In fact, when he won the Paralympic gold medal back in 2012 in London, he lifted 241, and that still remains his career best. His most recent result was 6th at the Paralympic Games in Rio 2016. He lifted 200, so a bit of the way of form from his peak in 2012, which came 2 years after he won the World Championships. But Hani Abdel Hadi going for gold on African shores and trying to gain a continental title. 175 the lift. Well, you could tell he's a man who's lifted far heavier than that before in his career, because he made that look like very simple work. And maybe some of the athletes and their coaches have learned a lesson today, in this session in particular. Make sure that your first weight is liftable. You don't want to be getting to your 3rd attempt and still trying to get your first lift on the board. So far, extremely good from our competitors. 2 more to come. First of which will be in the under 107 category, and that's Mohamed Ahmed of Egypt. 36-year-old weighing in 100.5 kg. Never won a Paralympic gold, but did get silver in Rio with a lift of 233. He's also managed top 10 finishes in the 2014 and the 2017 World Championships as well, but yet to break into the podium in that respect. He is almost certain to win the gold in this event. Just 2 competitors in this weight bracket. He and Morad Bakir, who we saw go first. All Ahmed has to do is lift this weight and the gold will probably be his. But it's more than just medals this. It's all about personal progression. And another Paralympic Games 2 years around the corner. All about nailing those personal bests, those season's bests. And Mohamed Ahmed here going for an ambitious but very much doable score of 200. This is the weight he lifted in Mexico to finish 7th at the World Championships. Was that bar even enough for the officials? It was. Looked like the right arm was flirting with the idea of doing more work than the left, but he managed to balance it out, and the officials like what they saw. So Mohamed Ahmed registering 200 kg, and the Egyptian coach will be going right back around the stage and getting ready to wheel on Amir Mossad, who will be the only competitor in the over 107 category. The African record holder with a lift of 235, which he got at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games, here going for a slightly more modest 210. So the only competitor in the heaviest weight division at these championships, and incidentally the youngest senior as well in this session, 26 years of age, but already has experience at a Paralympic Games where he won silver in Rio with a lift of 235, which saw him get that African record. And earlier this year he lifted 222 as well at the European Open Championships. In fact, that was back in 2015, not this year's one. He didn't take part in France. He took part in 2015 and managed to get second there. So Amir Mossad has certainly got good pedigree. What's his form like in Algiers tonight? Aiming to get 210. Well, nice and easy, does it? And Amir Mossad made that again look very easy. And I think this is the first time in the whole duration of this weekend's championships that we've had a completely successful first round, especially with as many athletes as 8 taking part. So job well done from all 8 of them, but the hard work yet to be done, as those weights will increase, as will the weight of expectation and the pressure to bring home a medal in each of these 4 categories. Let's go back to the start then. Here's Morad Bakir of Algeria. Second lift for him after mastering 125 on the first occasion. Now going for 130. No doubt the Algiers crowd will be behind him once again. But can he channel that positive, supportive energy into a second successful lift? 130, the target for the 35-year-old Murad Bakir in the up to 107 kilo classification. Good lift. The trend continues, and Murad Bakir will go into his final lift on the back of two successful ones, 125 and now 130 as well. He knows the gold medal is very unlikely with Mohamed Ahmed, the leader, and his only other competitor in that weight division, 70 kilo clear at the top. Still, mentioned about those personal progressions, and the Algerians have done that in great abundance, and a real confidence boost, not just to their individuals but also their program as a whole. It's working. Whatever they're doing here in Algeria, it's a fledgling program that's coming on leaps and bounds over the course of the last couple of days. And up next for them is Nouardine Khazraoui, 141, his latest benchmark that he hopes to master. Good lift from Nouardine Khazraoui, 141. Wow, this is a superb standard that's been set here by these athletes. Really is impressive, and long may it continue. Let's not jinx it just yet. Chief referee making sure that the bar is perfect here for Abdul Razik Al-Baybar of Libya, now looking to hit 150. He's in the lightest weight division of the four taking part here, in the minus 88 category. No lift. Marginal call. 2-1 against. First, no lift we've had. But it was always going to come to an end at some point, unfortunately. Abdul Razik Al-Baybar, the man who can't get two on the trot. But the Libyan will be back with the third and final attempt. Will he go again for 150, or will he try and up it a little bit nevertheless, as though that lift never happened? Up next, our junior athlete in the up to 97 kg category, Tarek Warden of Egypt, who has the junior Africa record of 162. He's making us wait to see if he can beat that, because he's going here for 157, the 20-year-old. Born on New Year's Day is Tarek Warden. Always a day to celebrate, whether it's your birthday or not, the 1st of January. Tarek Warden will be hoping this will be a moment to celebrate as he goes for 157. His coach is happy. The officials aren't. 2-1 against. Tarek Warden failing to get 157, and you wouldn't say we were waiting for mistakes, but you do wait for them, and then they come two in a row. Al-Bayban, now Wardan failing to secure a second lift. Just a bit of a stagnation there as he raised the bar. It wasn't fluid enough for the officials' liking. Up next is Mohamed Haj Ali of Algeria. 165 first time around, now going for 171. I've got a feeling, even though the silver's more or less secured for him, that he's tempted to knock on the door for gold and just put pressure on Hani Abdel Hadi, see if he's going to make a mistake in the future round. So 171 then for Mohamed Haj Ali here in the up to 88 kilo category. Oh, that seems smooth, and the rot is stopped by Mohamed Haj Ali. Things back on track. He gets another good lift under his belt, 171. And there is a man who knows that silver is in the bag. A release of energy and shouts and screams from Haj Ali there, just as the crowd did the same in the stand. So now we go on to the world record holder in this division, the up to 88 category, Hani Abdel Hadi of Egypt. The world record that he lifted, incidentally, was back in Dubai 2016, a weight of 233. But a bit more of a modest total he's going for here of 180. I think he just wants to get this medal won and get out the building. quite frankly. No world record attempts that I can see coming up for Hani Abdelhadi, unless he really surprises us with his third and potentially fourth lift as well. Just asking for the bench to be wiped clean, bit of sweat on the upper part of it from the shoulder and the head of previous athletes. Really getting himself geared up for this one. Only got a minute left to make this lift and he's not strapped in yet. Actually very assured from Hani Abdelhadi, and 180 is the score. Took his time and it was worth doing so. Slow and steady wins the race. It may well win the gold as well for Hani Abdelhadi. We'll see how his final lift transpires. Mohamed Ahmed of Egypt's up next. And he'll be going for 210. Holds the African record of 233. And he's set, as we mentioned earlier, in Rio 2016. And, well, he may try to get close to that in his next attempt, should he manage this one. The officials and the jury as well ready for any application for a world record attempt to come their way, but I'm surprised if that is the case. Mohamed Ahmed here trying to lift twice his body weight. 210 after successfully managing 200. No lift. Bit of a sideways action, unfortunately, from Mohamed Ahmed. I don't think we'll be seeing any African records broken from him today. Amir Mossad back up to the stage. 220 he's going to go for. Gold medal's already his. He's the only competitor in this event, and he managed to make his first lift count, so anything from here is just practice and progress ahead of what will hopefully be for him a trip to Tokyo in the summer of 2020. Well, Amir Mossaid was almost staring through the bar there as he prepared himself to take that lift, but it's an approach that works. Very much a contrasting facial expression now, big smile on his face, no more face of thunder, for now anyway, until his final lift. But 220 he has managed to get. Fair play to him. Very good lift. Now on to the final round of the weekend. And as the bar is prepared for Murad Bakir to come back out, it's worth saying here that a lot of time and effort has gone in from everyone concerned in the world of para-powerlifting, and also the local organisers as well, to make sure that this event has happened. So as ever, we thank our athletes and our officials and our coaches for providing the entertainment, and of course a big thank you going to our organisers and volunteers as well, who give up an awful lot of their time well in advance to make sure that these events can occur, and occur as smoothly and successfully as these championships have done over the course of this weekend in Algiers. There's also worth saying a big thank you to the locals as well. It's been a very much a fantastic games, and the locals have contributed to that, and their support for those competing for the home nation cannot be faulted. We are in one of the most northern points of Africa, and everyone has flocked here from 14 different nations in the continent to make this event what it has been. And a final lift for our remaining 8 competitors to end Algiers 2018 on a high. 140 the lift for Murad Bakir here for Algeria. Didn't seem even to me, and the officials agreeing. So unfortunately there will be one no lift against the name of Murad Bakir, but not to take away from his previous 2 attempts, the best of which 130, and that is what we'll see him going to the standings with at the end of competition. Just not even there. You can see the right shoulder above the left shoulder, and doing a bit more of the work really. And that's the difficulty with this sport. Got to ensure that even though one arm is more capable of a lift than the other, that you are really playing to the weaker arm when you're choosing what lift you're going to do. Nordine Kazawi will be coming up shortly, but first is the Libyan Abdulaziz Al-Baybar, who is going for 150 again. Second attempt at this after failing in round 2. Wasn't too far away from managing that. But will it be third time lucky in that sense? That looked better. Oh, it's way better. 3 white lights for Abdulaziz Al-Baybar, and the relief absolutely evident. What a sense of achievement that must feel like for the Libyan. 150 to lift, and he closes his competition on a big high. Got the bronze medal. That's what he wanted. Just the 3 kilos more being added now for Nordine Kazawi. He's going for 153. Could get him gold ahead of Tariq Wardan, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a good battle between the 55-year-old Nordine Kazawi and the junior Tariq Wardan. A battle of North Africa in that respect, as Algeria face Egypt. So the Algerian to go first, Nordine Kazawi. 153. A close call again, and it's gone against him 2-1. A couple of hands on heads in the crowd, but nevertheless, sterling effort. It will have to be silver, I think, for Nordine Kazawi. And the reason I say I think is because Tariq Wardan entered as a junior. I don't know if he can get a senior medal. We haven't had a position like this so far this weekend. Nevertheless, Nordine Kazawi finishing on 141. And with the crowd fully behind him, regardless of what happened with that lift. Tariq Wardan then. Back here trying to lift 157. Surprised he's not gone here for the Junior African record, which he holds at 162. He got that in Mexico in 2017, but not bothering here and deciding to stick out the lift he failed to achieve in the previous go. One thing I'd say about the Egyptian approach is it has been very methodological and thought out. No hasty decision making when it comes to the weights at all from the Egyptians, and that's what's breed them such success. Tariq Wardan here, lifting 157. Oh, good lift from Tarek Warden. So 157 will be his best. And the best in his weight division as well. There's a slip up there with the chair, but he won't be bothered by that. So Mohammed Haj Ali now going for 180. This will tie in with the current leader Hani Abdul Hadi, which will put pressure on the Egyptian on his next lift if Haj Ali manages this. He's lighter out of the two, so on the head-to-head, Haj Ali can afford to tie with Abdul Hadi, which is what he's planning on doing here. He's going to make this lift count. He's going to make it successful if he's to have any chance of a gold for Algeria. Big lift. Oh, huge lift. And that momentarily puts him top. I'll talk about throwing a curveball into the mix. Mohammed Haj Ali has certainly done that there. And that means that Hani Abdul Hadi has to make this next lift count for Egypt, otherwise the gold is going to Algeria. Well, that would be one of the stories of the weekend if Haj Ali would be able to take gold away from Hani Abdul Hadi, the world record holder, who's about to come out now and face 185. I'm really surprised about the Egyptian's approach. He's not at all wanting to get near his world record of 233. That surprises me. Maybe there's an injury that he's coming back from. Maybe he's just not at the form that he was in 2016 when he got that world record. The two lifts he's done so far, 175 and 180, have looked really assured and confident. But Abdul Hadi going for 185 to become African champion in the men's up to 88 kilo weight division. Big pressure on this lift. It could be one of the tightest finishes we have seen this weekend in any of the categories. Is that enough to win the gold? It is. Oh yes, it is. And how much does that mean? A man who's been there and done it all around the world, but right here, right now in Algiers, to be African champion, it means everything. Heartbreak for Algeria, but I don't think they expected to be this close in the first place, and there's a lot in green applauding this man. The world record holder, Hagni Abdelhadi. Here's the gold medalist. The African record holder Mohamed Ahmed up next for Egypt. He's already sealed the gold medal in the up to 107 category. Now just applying the finishing touches to give it that more handsome complexion. His best currently 200. He'll be hoping for a best of 210. Let's see if he gets it. Well, they seem to like it, those in red, and the officials do as well. 210. Mohamed Ahmed, second time lucky on 210. And he's got the gold medal in the up to 107 category. And in the end, it was made to look very easy from him. Face suggests otherwise, but it's all about the arms. And the shape of that bar, which was very balanced and even indeed. Well, Amir Mossad will be coming up next, and you think there's a lot of weight on that now. 230 is going for. Well, the world record in this weight division is 310 by the one and only Sharman Barman of Iran. He got at the Rio 2016 games. He is the strongest man in powerlifting. So Amir Mossad knows he's got his work cut out to ever achieve those dizzy heights. The 26-year-old probably will be waiting for when Rahman retires in order to get his hands on a gold medal on the intercontinental scene. For now, though, the African title is his. 230 standing in his way. The final lift, we expect anyway, of these Algiers 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships. A struggle maybe will be held against him. It will. Nevertheless, 220 his best lift, and the best lift of the session as well. Really only up against himself, because he was the only one in that category who is 107 plus. So he's won in that sense, and managed to get 2 clean lifts on the board as well. Not managing a third, but I'm sure he will not mind. The killer eye is not able to produce their laser-like instinct on that occasion. So we are going to have one more lift. Tarek Warden in the junior category going for 163.5, and this is for a new junior African record. He's already got the junior gold in the up to 97 category. He's looking to take the limelight away from everybody else in these championships by finishing with a flourish. We know that's to get a crowd worked up. There's Tarek Warden, 20 years old and going for a junior African world record. Crowd getting right behind this. It's the final lift of the weekend. They're using any energy that they've got left for this, and they are quite right to do so as well. I think he's done it. Oh, he hasn't. 2-1 against, and isn't he frustrated with that? Nevertheless, finishing with a flourish, if not with the lift, but certainly with the dab. And Tarek Warden fails to get that junior African record that he already holds, but he wanted to improve on it by 1.5k. But what can you do? That's the end of the competition here at the Algiers 2018 World Para Powerlifting African Championships, and what a blast the last 3 days have been. The action may be over, but there's still plenty more to come. The medal presentations for all 4 of tonight's weight categories to come very shortly indeed. So do make sure you stick around for that, and make sure you pay thanks and congratulations to the athletes that have made Algiers 2018 what it has been. What a 3 days. Medal presentations to come for the final session on the final day of the 2018 World Para Powerlifting African Championships very shortly. So the medal ceremonies begin. There's going to be quite a few of them. If you were watching that last session, you'll have noticed there were in total 4 weight divisions in that session, and the first of them now, the up to 88 kilogram category, being unveiled. Bronze going to Libya's Abdul Razik Al Balbay, silver for Mohamed Adli of Algeria, and gold to Hani Abdel Hadi of Egypt. Best lift then for Abdul Razik Al Balbay, the 44-year-old, was 150 in his third and final lift. His expectation coming into this was that he was not going to be challenging for gold, but still enough just to get a medal under his belt. And isn't he happy about it? Silver then for Mohamed Haj Ali of Algeria. There's the noise. A lift of 180 in his third and final go, enough for him. And he was only 5k off the eventual winner. If there were another couple of rounds of that competition, it would have been interesting to see how it would have finished, because the ultimate winner was the world record holder Hani Abdel Hadi, who was not really on the form that we're used to seeing from him, but you could tell by the relief in his demeanour and his facial expression when he got that final lift of 185 that not only does this medal mean a lot to him, but maybe there's something underneath the surface there, which is why he's not performing at what we're used to. But nevertheless, strong stuff from Hani Abdel Hadi, and it will be he earning the gold medal and the African title in the men's up to 88 kilogram division, and also it will be his nation's national anthem that will be played at the Hacha Hassan Arena. So big well done to those medalists. You can see the emotion there right through the face of Hani Abdel Hadi. Means an awful lot to be African champion, that's for sure. Next medal presentation coming up very soon, and it will be in the up to 97 weight division.
يا شعبان جيب الشنطة بس هيك.
So this, the junior gold medal winner in the under 88 category, under 97 category should I say, Tarek Wadan of Egypt. Junior African record holder with a lift of 162 back in 2017. Tried to beat that here but didn't quite manage it, his best lift being 157. Well, more pure delight for Tarek Wadan. Great job. Junior African champion for Egypt. Very shortly we'll have the rest of our presentation. Still quite a bit to come here at the 2018 Algiers World Powerlifting African Championships. So Mohammed Ahmed getting the gold medal in the under 107k category. Best lift for him, 210. Big well done to him. And once again, we'll hear the Egypt national anthem. Still one more medal presentation to come, and that will be in the men's over 107 category. And once again, it's an Egyptian winner. Amir Mossad will be on top of the podium very soon. our final presentation of this competition, the Algiers 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships, and the curtain is drawn to a close. A big thank you to all you watching on the live stream over the course of the last 3 days. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your company, and a big thank you once again to our officials, volunteers, all those that have organised and been a part of making these championships a reality, and of course a big thank you to our coaches and particularly our athletes for putting in all the hard work to give us such a thrilling spectacle over this weekend. So for now, from Algiers, from myself, Jonathan Bell, at the Hachet Hassan Arena, and everyone who has been a part of this 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships, we thank you one more time, and for now we wish you a very good evening and a goodbye.